The commitments made on Friday, April 6 at Hotel Africana, Kampala, during the launch of the West Nile Education Trust Fund will have a lasting impact on its beneficiaries and ultimately the entire region. The finest brains from the region, aware of the faltering standards of education, gathered to launch what was expected to be a turning point to the education standards. This determined group drew the first blood. 400 million shillings raised that night alone set a standard. The commitment was evident and work had to begin. The benefiting students, bright as they are, were often reduced to hopelessness, with parents unable to provide finances for their education.
After completing my senior 6, I at first had a lot of dreams. That's because we had filled the job forms and I hoped maybe I would get the government scholarship. If not on national merit, then it would be maybe on district quota, which really didn't work. So from there, I tried other scholarships, which included MasterCard and loan scheme. After that unsuccessful trial, I really had almost given up in life. I mean academic life. So I started doing something small. I embarked on a charcoal business. It was a petty one anyway. That's because I wanted to deal with the stress that I already had.
When we were at high school, I personally worked so hard so that I would get the government scholarship. Now when results came and then the list for national merit was released, I didn't see my name anywhere. I kept on hearing about other scholarships, the loan scheme. Yeah, I tried, but they were not all working. So I'd actually lost hope.
Through different contacts, a slight ray of hope presents itself. They are told about the West Nile Education Trust Fund, but most of these have tried many scholarships already without success and are often reluctant to apply. Nevertheless, they tried this one.
When I was for my first week of orientation, they alerted us about some scholarship which are on ground, among which there was West Nile Education Trust Fund.
So one evening, as I was making my charcoal selling plans, I was called by my sister, who told me about West Nile Education Trust Fund scholarship. Deep inside me, I knew it was going to be another unsuccessful trial, but because she really wanted the best for me, I had to try it out with West Nile Education Trust Fund.
I got to know about the West Nile Education Trust Fund through a friend. I had been telling him about my inner desire to pursue a medical course. I had already applied here at the university and I was already admitted, but the tuition was the problem.
A tense period of mixed emotions ensures. Many are left worried and panicking, while others are constantly praying, aware that this could be their only chance to continue their education. And finally, it's the D-Day to break the news. Again, mixed emotions. Whereas many celebrate wildly, others are so mute and lost in words. But the bottom line is, they now have a chance to study again.
When I saw the message, actually it was like I didn't know how to react.
One evening, as I was just staying, I got a call from a very, very new number. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I picked the call up and I heard a lady's voice, and it was a good one. So she was like, you know, you are a successful one. You've got yourself the West Nile Education Trust Fund.
They have a short period to celebrate this milestone. They must return to class and focus, as the scholarship requires one to perform at a very high level or risk losing it all. All students are aware of this fact and use it as motivation.
So since the major factor for the scholarship was performance, there you can't really relax seriously, you can't relax.
Resources are scarce, and someone willingly devoting their resources to you expects results. In that they should be positive. I should be proving my worth.
So I will always make sure that I really get committed to my academics.
Suddenly, all the fading dreams under the weight of poverty are brought back. To the West Nile Education Trust Fund, the beneficiaries make a vow. They are coming to make their mark. Students with similar stories like them must equally get a chance.
So I learned that West Nile Education Trust Fund is just out of the people's will. So once I knew that, I knew for sure that one day I will have to be part of this team, because I've always had that heart that I should motivate the young that are already being discouraged or they are at the verge of almost giving up with academics.
Actually, I'm part of West Nile Education Trust Fund already. So after being here, my plan is that by God's grace, when I'm able to, I also want to take opportunity to enhance education by helping out those who are in need of study but they are unable to.
Onia Solomon Livingstone and Ayiko Herbert of Gulu University completed 5 years pursuing Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, and Dr. Hanan Baba with a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from Barara University of Science and Technology are just some of the products of the trust fund.
It was actually at a point when really sponsoring myself had become so difficult for me, and the future didn't seem clear for me what path I will take. So I'm really grateful. This scholarship helped me in a very, very challenging moment, and I am so grateful to the scholarship board. West Nile has many men and women who really who have dreams, who want to attain these dreams, but sometimes they are limited by resource. And it's totally a welcome gesture for us to support each other in such a manner.
For these 5 years, I've been offering a Bachelor's of Medicine and Bachelor's of Surgery, which I've just completed, and hopefully, God willing, on the 27th of January, I'll be conferred upon that particular degree, and I'll attain the title of Dr. Ayiko Herbert. And for me, it's a very big dream come true, whose story dates back as 6 years ago, when after admission for this particular course, after a very, very long struggle. But in 2016, the going became so tough, I couldn't keep up with the financial demands of the course, so I had to withdraw. I saw the dream of my course, which I had struggled to attain, going through my hands. In that desperation and hopelessness and uncertainty, that's when the good news of West Nile Education Trust Fund came. The requirements were basically for people who were direct entrants from West Nile region, and I wasn't a direct entrant. But because due to the challenges we have in the region as far as academic performance is concerned, there were hardly any direct entrants who had qualified for Bachelor's of Medicine and Surgery. So for the entire 5-year journey I've been in Gulu University, West Nile Education Trust Fund has supported me. We had fears that due to availability of resources, which were affected by the COVID lockdown and the COVID situation as we went through as a country for 2 years or so. And so we are worried, but I'm very grateful to Mr. Charles Dwachabo and the entire team. They reassured us that for us who are on the program, they'll do their level best to make sure that we completed. And ladies and gentlemen who are viewing me, right now I'm dressed as a doctor, fully having completed the course. I've excelled academically. I'm just waiting for the graduation come 27th of January, and thereafter go for an internship.
My name is Hanan Baba, Dr. Hanan Baba as of now. I come from Yumbe district. I pursued a bachelor's degree in pharmacy from Barara University of Science and Technology. To my dismay, I missed out on government scholarships by about 0.2 something to get the course that I wanted at Makerere. Then I had to start to look outside the box. I wanted to to further my education and be something because I had come from far. So I happened to come across the advert for West Nile Education Trust Fund. It was a new scholarship by that time. I applied through Gaga Bus. Then I was lucky enough, I got called up for interviews by the then chairman, that was Rachao Charles. Thanks to God, I was called up and they managed to start supporting me financially. I felt that I should thank sincerely the people behind the scholarship, and also I thank God so much. It is really a great opportunity for us who are in West Nile.
Miss Caroline Badaru, a board member of West Nile Education Trust Fund, explains the role the fund has played in giving opportunities to the gifted but needy students of the region.
First of all, the Education Trust Fund is a very, very important initiative because this is done by the people. It is the will of the people of West Nile, to say that let us put our efforts together and mobilize funds so that one poor or one needy person, is able to get to school. And then the niche that they are looking at is based on science courses, that's engineering, doctors, and in many universities in particular, we have the nurses. So it is very important for a needy child, especially a girl child, to benefit from such a program. If you hear the stories of these beneficiaries, you realize that actually some of them otherwise, if the trust fund did not intervene, would not be who they are. They would not have the same values. They wouldn't have attained the skills, the knowledge that is needed within West Nile here. So there's this other one story whereby the nursing student says if it were not for the West Nile Trust Fund, then she would be selling charcoal. That touches me deeply, and knowing that the West Nile Trust Fund, Education Trust Fund, intervened timely makes my heart actually have exceeding joy. Right now, if you walk to Arua Hospital, you find that our students are there serving the patients in Arua Hospital, and it is my pride, or the pride of the boards of trustees, that these students are beneficiaries of West Nile Education Trust Fund. So in the long run, you realize that if we keep adding value to one individual or another in all these districts in West Nile, we'll have a bigger workforce. Okay, and this workforce goes back to serve the community. Whom would you expect? Would ask ourselves questions. Whom do you expect to go back and work with the community in every sector of the economy, being it health, being it a teacher, being it an engineer, being it a doctor? Who else would go? So the West Nile Education Trust Fund has positioned itself in that it's picking out needy students, so that when they benefit, they will in turn give to the community. And I think that's a very good initiative.
Her message is echoed by the acting Vice Chancellor of Moni University, Professor Simon Anguma, who gave a keynote address during the last fundraising dinner.
I just gave a very simple kind of analysis that in society, we humans are by nature rude. We are by nature selfish. We are by nature harsh. And all these negative attributes in our nature are tamed and tuned through education and through, of course, religiosity. And education works on the harshness. It tones down the selfishness in us, which is contained in our human nature, and hence making a good citizenry in us. And I want to really express my gratefulness and gratitude to the supporters, to those who are really supporting this trust fund for the expansion it has gained over these years. For example, at Moon University, we are having students who are pursuing nursing science, Bachelor of Nursing Science. This is a health-related program. And of course, once they complete, their job description is obvious. They are going to work towards alleviating the health challenges of humanity. And those who are supporting this trust fund are not only supporting these students, but they are supporting indirectly a bigger population. Because once these people complete their program, they will serve a bigger population. You may think you are putting your 20,000 in order for this person to go and read, but you are putting your 20,000 for treating somebody in the future. So the spin-offs from this trust fund, from this intervention, are really huge. The spin-offs from the sacrifices of those that are supporting the intervention are huge. My appeal to West Nilers is not to sit back. Let us embrace this initiative. Let us embrace this initiative to give hope to those who actually had lost hope. I personally support it. My contribution will always come. Thank you very much.
On that fateful night at Hotel Africana in Kampala, Mr. Charles Drychabo, the chairman of the trust fund, in laying out the vision, said the aim was to raise shillings 5 billion to provide assistance to about 300 bright students in the next 5 years. Many might ask how much of this ambitious plan was achieved. But if the testimonies of the 21 benefiting students is the yardstick, then success is actually an understatement. These students are eternally grateful